Alright traders, check this out. We got the Litecoin. It's probably been about a week since last time we were here. Now, as you can see, price had been trading slightly sideways / upwards, but it's basically a trading range that it started to develop ever since the beginning of September. Right? Now we're still here. We're still holding our short position on the Litecoin. I just want to remind you, we are dealing here with a very strong case, right? Very strong bearish case. First, we have been bouncing off the strong resistance, 23.6 Fibonacci correction, that blue dotted line. As you can see, that was the right shoulder on this massive head and shoulders pattern, right? So the right shoulder was bouncing off from below on that powerful key level, and then of course breaking the neckline, right? What more do you want from a bearish setup? It's probably the ideal, the perfect, bearish situation you can think of. So obviously we took action. We took massive action on this, and we got involved with a short position, guys. But we still believe. I mean, we run here a very, very nice profit at this point. However, we believe that we're only made it halfway through, right? The potential is going to 50.5 actually, which is the 161.8% Fibonacci projection, the second Fibonacci projection, second and arguably the most important one, right? So it's right here, 50.5. That's the potential on the downside. Now, when you take it to the daily chart, which is kind of the local price action, then you can see that price is just stalling. Basically, it's just, wasting time a little bit, trying to trade sideways. So, but I want to refer you to what happened here a couple of days ago. Price actually broke below, take a look, 68.96. That's the local support. Take a look at the close we had here a couple of days ago, 68.72, right? So it's been already successful breaking through that level. And even though it pushes upwards slightly today and even yesterday, I'm pretty sure it's going to end up on the lower section here. So basically, we can talk about two time frames, or two different cycles, right? The short-term cycle is this really tight sideways movement. So a completion of the short-term cycle move here would be just a move back to the lower section, 64.24. We can talk about 60, right? 60 to 64.24. This 4 points area. That's the short-term cycle. Beyond that point, price could trade a little bit sideways, further sideways for a while, and then it should break down and basically merge with the medium-term cycle, which is this move here, this whole downside move that started back at June. Right? We believe it will finish it up once it hits that 50.5, and then there's a good chance that the market will end that downside move. Or, of course, there's also the possibility of price breaking through and making it to the next one. And we actually do have a proposal for the next one and last one, by the way. That's 20.7. That's how deep we think the Litecoin could go, potentially speaking, right? That's how deep. And we talked about it already, the big picture. We're not going into today. We're not going to talk about the big picture. We talked about the big picture before. We talked about the Elliott wave cycle that we see not only on the Litecoin but also on the Bitcoin, on the Ethereum. We've seen that today, yesterday. So a lot of that coming from different areas, and all together pointing out for the same scenario, downside bearish scenario. So yeah, I mean, even from the big picture, it looks like we're in for a serious downside move. But we'll have to measure this and reanalyze this day in, day out, and keep updating our conviction. So that's pretty much what we're doing here. We're still holding our bearish conviction here. This time, it's not only from the long-term perspective, but this time it's also from the short-term perspective, aiming for 64.24. We might actually use that key level for partial execution, by the way. Alright guys, that's about that for the Litecoin. We'll have to come back, follow up, and keep you posted. That's about that for today. That's about this for this week, and we'll see you next Monday. Have a nice trading, have a nice weekend. Take care.